Bethel Clouds TV, empowering lives.
Yes, Apostle. Welcome to our show. Our first question is, how is the church going to save the altars that are in the State House?
No, it's the church cannot be able to save any altar. The church, the altars are not destroyed by institutions. They are not destroyed by churches. Altars are destroyed by individuals. In the book of Hebrews chapter number 5 from verse 1, it talks about a high priest. The high priest is the one that is mandated to destroy altars. Altars are never destroyed by multitude of people. It's an individual. Gideon was sent to go and destroy the altar of his father alone. Abraham was sent by God to go and raise an altar alone. Solomon went to the mountain Gibeon and slaughtered 1,000 cows. He was raising an altar of wisdomatic altar alone. So about destruction or bringing down altars is not about it's not the role of the president, it's not the role of the church. It is the role of one selected or chosen by God to go represent God in matters pertaining God to men.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there's no one, so it has to be someone who's chosen by God.
And it has to be. That is the book of Hebrews. If my director can give me my phone, I can be able to read for you that in the book of Hebrews, chapter number 5, let me read it for you so that you can have the understanding, a proper understanding of what God means. When it comes to breaking of altars, who is in charge? Is it the people? Is it the pastors? Is it apostles? No. But it is one selected by God for the reasons. Listen here now. Hebrews chapter number 5 from verse 5. The Bible says, every high priest is selected from among the people and is appointed to represent the people in matters related to God. He's an appointee of God. They are very rare. They are very rare. And what's the role of this high priest? Is to offer gifts and the sacrifices for sins. This high priest, his role is to offer sacrifices and gifts because of sins committed. He is able to deal gently with those who are ignorant. He has a heart to deal gently with those who are ignorant and are going astray. And the people that are going what? Astray. Since he himself is subject to weakness. So he's still a human being, subject to many, many weaknesses. This is why he has to offer sacrifices for his own sin. Before you go to offer sacrifice for the nation, you have first of all to give a sacrifice for your own sin, as well as for the sins of the people. And no one takes this honor on himself. These people, they don't go bragging around. We are the people that are praying for the president in the State House. We are the bishop. No. They don't brag around. And no one takes honor on behalf on himself, but he receives it when God called when called by God, just as Aaron was. In verse 5 says, in the same way, Christ did not take on himself the glory of becoming a high priest, but God said to him, you are my son. Today I have become your father. And he says in another place, you are a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek.
That's a thing.
So this man, the people that can be able to change or to destroy altars, are selected people by God himself, not ordained people.
So no one knows people who can do it right now.
Not unless now I am sent.
Yeah.
Not unless you are sent. Not unless somebody is sent by God to go and do. And this is not an announcement that you make. This is not an advertisement that you make to people that I'm going now to destroy this, I'm going to destroy this. No. This only happens. God has said so.
Like the ones who went to Mount Kenya.
No, those ones they were sent by Rachel RUTO to go to Mount Kenya. What they saw until today, they are not able to explain to anybody because God was not with them.
And I think that's clear to us. So, Apostle, are you among the religious leaders who binded the the covenant between Uhuru and Ruto, and then you are among the people who made sure through your prayers and guidance, who made sure through prayers that Ruto became president. The same leaders right now, the religious leaders, are now taking the bold step of making sure.
That is the true role of a pastor, of a man of God.
Okay.
You are with the king if only he is with God. Ours is to guide them, ours to pray for them. Whoever is the king, that's biblical. Whoever is the king is subject to every man of God. That in the book of, I think it's Acts or Corinthians, the Bible says, respect your leaders. Obey your leadership. Whichever way they are, obey the leadership, because you're a man of God. Yeah. Then pray for them, guide them. If they go astray, just reprimand them, correct them, talk to them, tell them you are wrong. The king is naked. Do not be afraid of them, because that is the mandate of a man of God, to collect, to make the behavior of any king which is not right, to turn it to become right. So every pastor has a role, has a mandate to even go call the President Ruto and tell Ruto, you are doing, whatever you are doing is not right. We are not going to tolerate this. And then command the spiritual realm, not only speaking to him, we command the spiritual realm to make sure Ruto behaves in the spirit and in the physical.
Because right now, you guys are taking bold steps on his face. You are telling him, you're among the people who has been criticized online for telling the truth. You guys don't fear the abductions?
No, you can't fear anything because you are a son of God. You see here in Hebrews chapter number 5, verse number 5, it says, in the same way, Christ did not take on himself the glory of becoming the high priest. But God said to him, you are my son. When you do the will of God, you become the son of God. Today I have become your father. Meaning, God has given, when you speak the truth as it is, you automatically ascend to a fatherly covering that will protect you, that will fight for you. And you are a priest forever, that from now forever, because of what you have done, you become a priest forever. So nobody will be able to touch you. And your role on this earth, God has a mandate and has given mandates on how to do things, when to do things, and how to go by. So therefore, you don't get scared of being abducted or being anything done with you. God has a way. God understands. God knows. There is nothing that happens without God knowing. There is nowhere you can go without God knowing. There is nothing can be achieved or not achieved without the hand of God.
You know, so many people are like backing you up. So of course, a word of encouragement, like a word that you can tell, because you have right now in Kenya, you have so many followers, so many people are supporting you.
Yes, just what is very important, be yourself, be real. Don't try to be what you are not, what you can't be. Be yourself, be real. Do exactly what you think is necessary with you. Speak what you know. What you don't know, don't speak. Be where you know. Where you don't know, don't go. And stand firm with your position. If it means Ruto has done something good, say that is good. If it is Raila that has done something good, say that is good. If Ruto has done something wrong, don't go with him. Just tell him as it is. If it is Raila, tell them as it is. Period. Be genuine. Be yourself. Be complete.
Ladies and gentlemen, Apostle Ndura, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Bethel Clouds TV, empowering lives.